afternoon, course 2. We are ready for our new lesson. So you need to have these notes from Mrs. Day. She'll pass them out. And when we are finished with these notes at the end of this video, I would like for you to raise your hand and show Mrs. Day that you actually did fill them out. Okay, so here we go. Today's topic is surface area and volume of prisms. Shorthand would be a box. Looks like a three-dimensional box. So when I say surface area, what does that make you think of? When I say volume, what does that make you think of? Well, I'm kind of hoping when I say surface area, you think of the area of all of the surface. Well, that sounds silly, doesn't it? The area of all the surfaces. How about if we think wrapping paper? If I were to put wrapping paper around the box, how much wrapping paper am I using? Because I have to cover all 6 sides of the box. I have to cover the top and bottom. I have to cover the front and the back. I have to cover the side and the other side. So, surface area, think wrapping paper. Surface area, think length times width a million bajillion times. Well, really just 6 times. But we're going to find each rectangle, the area, and area is just length times width. Okay, volume, I want you to think how much fits inside the box. How big is the box on the inside? How much could you fill inside of the box? So wrapping paper, surface area. Inside, volume. Okay, let's talk about the formulas. Surface area is going to be the top and the bottom length times width. They're going to match whatever the top and bottom are, length times width, so then we're just going to double it, multiply by 2. Okay, then we've got a rectangle on the front, length times width, but there's a matchy-matchy on the back, so let's go times 2 again. Then there's a rectangle on the left side, length times width, and we're going to double it again. Don't forget, order of operations. You do this first, this second, this third, and add at the end. Adding comes at the end. Length times width times 2. Length times width times 2. Length times width times 2. And then add them all up. The units is going to be squared. So it might be inches squared or it could be feet squared. But since it's area, it's going to have a tiny 2. All right, our formula for volume, super easy. Take the length, multiply it by the width, multiply it by the height. You're done. That's it. 3 numbers, whatever 3 numbers I give you, multiply them together. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. The units is going to be cubed. Inches with a tiny 3. Feet with a tiny 3. Centimeters with a tiny 3. Volume is 3-dimensional because we want inside of the 3D shape. Okay, here we go. First example, so exciting. We're going to do surface area. So if I highlight the front of this box, I need to know the length and the width. Now, I might tell you the length right here is 10, but I might tell you the width is 2, but it's back there. Remember, if that's 2, that's 2, that's 2. They're all 2s. So even if I don't put a 2 right here, because sometimes that 2 is kind of confusing on what am I talking about, so I might label it back here because I have more space. It's all a 2. Okay, so I'm going to go back and erase some of that. So I've got a front rectangle that is 10 and 2. 10 times 2 is 20. Double that because I also have a back rectangle that matches it. So 10 times 2 times 20, 10 times 2 is 20, doubled is 40. Okay, let's do the bottom. I'm going to outline the bottom of the box. The bottom has a 10 and something else. So I'm going to need a number right here, or I could have the number over there, but I need length and width of this rectangle. So we're going to call that one a 4. 10 times 4 is 40. 40 doubled is 80. Okay, now I need the side. The side is a rectangle. Kind of looks like a parallelogram, but it's a rectangle because it's a box. So the length is 4 and the width is 2. So now I've got 4 times 2 is 8, but there's also a side over here, so we're doubling it to get 16. 40 plus 80 is 120, 130, 136. My final answer is 136. If this was centimeters, it would be centimeters with a tiny 2. Okay, copy all that down. Here we go, our next example. I'm going to tell you that this number is going to be 6, this number is going to be 12, and this number is going to be 11. They're all going to be centimeters. Okay, so front rectangle. This purple one right here, it is 6 by what? Because it doesn't look like there's a number, but we said if this is 11, then that's 11. So 6 times 11, that's the front, times by 2 since there's also a back. Okay, the right side. The right side is this rectangle, length and width, length and width, and there's a left side, so we're going to double it. Okay, next we want the bottom. The bottom is this rectangle here. The length and width of that rectangle is 6 and 12, but there's a top that matches it, so we're going to double it. Pause the video, get all of your answers, add them all up, and let's see if we match. I ended up with 540 centimeters squared. 6 times 11 times 2. Now, if you want to do these out of order, you could do 6 times 2 and then times 11. There's nothing, you don't have to go, left to right. It doesn't really matter. But I got 132, 264, 144, added them all up, and there's my answer. Okay, next picture. Next picture is going to be 4. We can't really read that. Let's do another color. Let's go 4, 3, and 1.5. Now, let's talk about this. Does it really matter if I call it front and back, left and right, top and bottom? We're really just doing every combo. So you're going to do a 6 and 11 combo, you're going to do a 12 and 11 combo, and you're going to do a 6 and 12 combo. You don't need to write these words. This is just to help you understand what we're doing, but multiply these, multiply these, multiply these. You could even wait until the very end and double. You don't have to double in here. You could do multiply, 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 add them all up, and then double. So pause the video. You got some options. Pause the video, work it out, see if our answers match. Don't cheat and just keep the video going. Actually pause it. Try getting the right answer. I ended up with 45. So I did the bottom, 4 times 3, which is 12, and doubled it. I did the side, 3 times 1.5. I actually doubled the 1.5 because I could do mental math there, and that's 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Then I did this combo because if that's 1.5, this is 1.5. And that's the, oh, I guess I did the bottom. This is actually the bottom and top, and this is the front and back. But see, it doesn't really matter. Who cares? There we go. And so I did 1.5 times 2 is 3, times 4 is 12. And then I added them all up. I don't have units. Let's say these were feet. This would be feet squared. All right, we got one more to do. Let's add some numbers. It looks to me like the front of this is a square. So this is going to be 5, and this will be 5. And if that's 5, this is 5. And the long side, this looks like a stick of butter to me. Okay, this long side is going to be 20. And we'll do inches. So here we go. Pause the video. Be honest and pause. You're going to show all of your work to Mrs. Day in the end anyway. It all needs to be filled in. Pause the video and try to come up with an answer. All right, I ended up with 450 inches squared. Did anybody think of it like me? I thought I've got a front, this green rectangle here, and a back. So 5 times 5 is 25 doubled. But then I thought I've got this left side of butter, and it's going to match the right side of the butter. But I also have the top of the butter, which will match the left side and the right side. So I ended up doing the rectangle 5 and 20, and I multiplied it by 4 because all of those parts of the butter are the same. Doesn't mean you have to do it like that. I'm just telling you that's how my brain started thinking about it. So I ended up with 450. All right, let's go to volume. Volume is so much easier. You just multiply the 3 numbers. It's just simple, quick. Let's go 5 here, 6 here, and 10 here. Wow, 5 times 6 times 10. You can mental math, do those in any order that you want. I'm going to do 5 times 6 is 30. 30 times 30 times 10 is 300. If my label was inches, it would be inches cubed. Inches with a tiny 3. Inches with a exponent of 3. So it doesn't matter the order you write them. It doesn't matter the order you think them. Just, boom, multiply them all together. Easy peasy. Let's go to our next example. Our next example is going to be 24 and 10 and 2. All right, pause the video. You have 2 V's, V equals, V equals. (24 times 10 times 2). I think I'm going to do 24 times 2 in my head. If you want more V's than what we've got, you can always add more. So maybe I go ahead and write 48 times 10 and then 480. So if you'd like 3 V's or 2 V's, totally up to you. And I didn't put a label, so let's put centimeters, centimeters cubed. All right, last example. This is like a perfect box, a perfect cube. All of the numbers are going to be the same. So let's make this be 7. Can't read that. 7 inches, 7 inches, 7 inches. We could write 7 times 7 times 7. We could actually, if we wanted to be fancy about it, we could use an exponent, but it doesn't matter. So I think I'll go back to what I had the first time. And we've just got to multiply. Try to figure it out before I figure it out. 343 inches cubed. Okay, raise your hand. Show Mrs. Day that you completed the worksheets, the notes, and she will give you a worksheet for homework. And you have the rest of class. If there is any class time left, you have the rest of class to start on the homework on notebook paper. Bye.